Testing it. We trying to iron all the things out. What's going on out there, guys? How you guys doing? I'm your friend Doug Best. It's late night here and Best Taxes, Best Podcast. And me and my senorita been sitting here. I've been printing a few checks for the people. And how you guys doing out there? We, oh my God, we so happy. You happy? She don't want to talk on the microphone because we really get the hell out of here. But guys, today I want to just sit and talk to you guys just for a few minutes about Trump tax tariff. And some of the people, I can already see the trickle down effect. I don't know if the people in the highest levels of power, if they even listen to the people down here on the ground. But I'm your friend. I'm Doug Best. I'm here at Best on the Doug Best Show, and I just want to talk to you just a little bit. I've never seen this in all the years I've been in the tax business. It's almost like, the Trump tariff has only been in effect less than a week. But if I told you guys how it's directly affecting me, how much money I done lost in just the last 4 or 5 days, nobody's not going to even believe me. Because they're going to say, if you're so smart, why you weren't smart enough to be able to predict that this is going to be like it is? I think about 2008, 2009, we had a similar situation, at least me personally. And I got a friend named Steven Jackson. We call him Steve Long. And I said, man, I done lost all my money. He says, it's lonely at the top, big buddy. I said, oh, my God. And I said, man, I'm finna sell everything I got. I said, man, don't sell nothing. Just kick back and relax. And I let it ride. 10, 11, 12 years later, the money did grow in an astronomical way. But here we are. In 1 week, wow, it's unbelievable. But why am I on here tonight? I'm on here tonight because all day for the last 2 days, people have been just bombarding me. They calling us 4:30 in the morning, 5:30. They want to know what happened to their state checks. But guys, what I want you guys to know, when whatever Trump does something, man, it has a trickle down effect. Oh, I got to have a little chocolate, baby. You like that chocolate?
Yes.
Oh my God, girl, you better stop that. Yeah, guys, it has a trickle down effect. So everybody's calling and can worry. One lady called me today. Her name was a man in a long hat. She's calling me and talking crazy to me about, well, it's never happened to me before. And I try to explain everything to her that all the tax preparers do is print the checks. We don't issue the checks. We print the checks. And so when you get a check, it goes through a long, drawn-out process. The United States Treasury Department issues the checks. They send the check to a designated bank, and the designated bank sends it to the bank that we work with, a financial institution, and something comes into the computer. Right here is like so much stuff behind this desk, up under the desk, you can't even see it. But what they do, guys, I hope somebody's out there listening to me because, this is applicable to thousands and thousands of people all over America. The information that I'm sharing with you. I'm Doug. I'm your friend, baby. We on the Doug Best Show. And what's my job when I get on here? To share information with you and enlighten your life and kind of make life better. So with the tax checks, the state tax checks for the state of California, a lot of people haven't received their checks. We haven't gotten the checks yet. But as soon as we get the checks, I'm guaranteeing you that, I'm giving you my word and the word on my senorita and my kids here in the city. JR is so fresh in there. We right here. You guys see both of us on Facebook every day. I ain't going nowhere where I'm going. I've been here my whole life. My integrity is straight. I'm going to be working on my apartment complex over on Jensen. So if you get a check and I call you, I already set up a little desk area over there so you can come over there and feel comfortable. You can have a soda or water or something, and I'm going to give you your checks. But back to the state checks. So if you haven't received your check, your state check, some of you guys, have gotten them letters, usually when I got my workers in here, they'll help you do that little audit. But we can't help you now because Miss Renisha Logan, I love her. She helped me so many years. It's unbelievable how much work she did. And I miss her so much because she's in school now. But so now you guys are on your own. You got to do the audit on your own. And that's why at the beginning of the tax season, all through the tax season, I always tell everybody the same thing. You need the paperwork for the files. And so now when you get an audit from the California State Franchise Tax Board, and you got an audit and you haven't got your check, they're going to ask you for some basic information. And you're going to have to either email it in or fax it in. But usually you come in here and then, I help everybody. And I tell the people, well, this is what you need. And the people say, I don't know what you told me to do. I don't know what you put in the files. I haven't put nothing in the files. I'm trying to help you. So now that I'm not in a position to actually literally do the free work for you, when an audit costs $300, $400, $500, but I do it for free normally when I got my helpers in here. But now my helper's not here, so I'm explaining it. I'm taking the time out now. And if some of you guys see this, you can share it with somebody, tell them about it. You can go back and re-look at it. I'm going to share it multiple times so you guys can understand. So what happened when you get the audit from the Franchise State Tax Board, they're going to send you a letter, and the letter's going to tell you this is what you need to do. You can provide them with a copy of your ID, a copy of your children's birth certificates and Social Security cards. That's what we always ask you for. And then if it wasn't your child, you absolutely must have that information. They're going to ask you for address verification to prove that you and the children or the dependents stay in the same house. And if you worked and you got a W-2 or you got a 1099, the guys that work for me, I give them a 1099, but they have to pay their own self-employed taxes. So if you were self-employed, this is why I ask you guys, I literally beg you guys over and over and over again. You got to have that information. You got to forward it to them. So they saying that if you're a babysitter, who did you babysit for? Do you have some receipts from Walmart, from, I don't know, Rite Aids, or did you go to Winco or somewhere, and you got some receipts for food or bedding or clothing or something that you bought? You're going to have to share that with them, and you're going to have to send it to them. Stay with me. So this is just an example. These are just examples, guys, of what a receipt would look like. So me, I'm old school. When I do stuff, I go and get a cashier's check or rewrite a check, or I give the money to my senorita and, she pays it. But nowadays, the younger people, what you guys got? Somebody stay with me and listen to me. And it's a teachable moment. You could use this in New York City. You could use it in Fresno, California. You could be in Atlanta, Georgia. You could be in Las Vegas, Nevada. Or you could be anywhere in St. Louis, Missouri. So what happens when you get audited, whether it's for the state or whether it's for the federal, they're going to ask you, well, what was your finances? How did you do your financial transactions? A lot of the young people, they don't have bank accounts. So you guys got these. So these are statements right here. I'm not trying to show nobody's name, and then I'm trying to be real conscious of that. So you could print these things out. You go to Office Depot or somewhere, go buy you a printer and print them out. And then we still talking about an audit, a state audit or a federal audit. They're going to ask you for your financial transactions. How did you conduct your business? Some people don't necessarily have a spreadsheet or whatever. Some people literally write it down on a piece of paper. I kept little Johnny's, Diane Jackson's son, for the month of April, and she paid me $400. That's how you keep your records. You don't have to do it on Excel. You don't have to do it on a spreadsheet. I talk about this all the time. You don't have to break everything down in a formalistic way, but they're going to ask you for those kind of things. And then if you get stuck, and I'm working on the Doug Best apartment complex over there, you call me. I'm going to help you. I always help you. I always help everybody. So that's why today, this is a sidebar. It's a lady across the street. It's called Irene Clothing Shop. They was busting the shop for something. I don't know. I ain't trying to talk nothing disparaging about the lady, but the lady was trying to tell the police, well, he's probably the one that, that called in on me because, he's open till 11, 12 o'clock at night. What kind of tax office is that? A kind of tax office that's got so many people that, we got to stand here and stay in here late. But let's stay on point. And let's keep talking about the state audits. So if you got a state audit, you're going to have to gather up all that information and don't panic. Don't panic. If you sold chicken dinners, we bought dinners today. We should have had that stuff out here. I spent nearly $50 a day on chicken dinners, and we bought. They provided us with potato salad, and I brought 6 eggs from home. I went and boiled them so she could make the potato salad a little more like black people like it, like I like it. You know, with that relish and a little mustard, a lot more mayonnaise, and some black pepper in there. So, guys, so if you self-employed, this is important. Very, very, very important. That's why they finna tighten all this stuff up, man. Everybody. You thinking that Elon Musk is only going to those bureaucracies that they're going to? It's going to affect us down here on this level right here also, right now. So now when people are not getting their state checks because everybody's in a budget crunch. So if you haven't got your state check yet, this is what you need to do. Listen to me. Somebody share this. Pass it around. Tell your friends. All you got to do is Google California State Franchise Tax Board. California State Franchise Tax Board. And then, if you know your numbers, how much they're supposed to give you, just like you could go on the IRS database and go into irs.gov, where's my refund? You could do the exact same thing for the state of California. You go, it's Franchise Tax Board. It's abbreviated FTB, Franchise Tax Board, FTB dot CA, California, dot GOV. Stay with me. If you haven't got your check, call them, Google it, call them. They answer the phone. They're not quite like the IRS, but sometimes they're a little slow. They're going to ask you some basic information. You're going to put your white girl voice on. You're going to be nice and polite. She's looking at me like, don't say that. If you call the people and call them and talk crazy to them like you call and talk crazy to me, ratchet, they're going to hang the phone up and they're going to make some notes inside the file. I'm talking to you in this way because I know most of the demographics, my client base, I know the demographics. And I know sometimes, us as black people and Mexican people and the Asians too, sometimes we don't use the king's language. But when you call in these bureaucracies, you're going to have to use the king's language. So you're going to call the Franchise Tax Board, California Franchise Tax Board, and ask about your state check. And if you got an audit, or if you got an audit, you're going to have to send the paperwork in, the third thing. If you know how much you're supposed to be getting back, you're going to go on Google. You're going to put in FTB, B as in beautiful, dot CA for California, dot gov, G-O-V, FTB, dot CA, dot G-O-V. And then it's going to pop up on the screen. Then it's going to say, where's my refund? For the state of California, they're going to ask you for your social security number. They're going to ask you for the first few numbers of your address, the zip code, how much you're supposed to be getting. Then you're just going to push submit. Then it's going to tell you your tax return was received on this specific date. It's processing. And after the processing, it's going to say the date issued or when you're going to get your money. So now you know. You don't have to call me and be angry and be thinking that somebody at Best Taxes got your money. We don't want your money. I could screw up one time and I could destroy 20, 30 years of doing something good. We're not trying to do that here. Of course, we're going to make some mistakes. But, man, I'm telling you, everybody in the world, and my senoritas here to attest to this, we here 10 o'clock at night because I'm trying to make sure that we do everything correct. Of course, you're going to make some mistakes. That's just the way the life is. And we on the Doug Best Show. I'm talking to you, explaining everything to you, sharing my wisdom and my knowledge and my understanding of the tax system so we can make life easier. So we know that whatever Trump is doing right now, it's finna have a trickle-down effect on everybody. Okay, guys. Okay, so tomorrow, I just printed a lot of checks. I don't want everybody to start calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning because when I wake up, I can't go back to sleep. I'm gonna be grouchy. So we working on the Doug Best apartment project over there on Jensen. I'm gonna try to get it finished before we get on the road. I know everybody hear me keep saying that we gonna travel around the world. He just talking. We ain't just talking. We already got the tickets to the big cruise ship. I never got on one of them before because I'm not no great swimmer. But we got the tickets right. We gonna go on the cruise. We already paid for the round trip tickets to go to Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico, Michoacan, Mexico City, and we stay there for a few weeks. We already paid for that. We already paid for the tickets to go to Japan and wherever we're going to go over there, Hiroshima, Tokyo, Hiroshima. Everything's paid for already. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So, guys, that's why when you see me on this thing, I'm sharing the information with you so you'll know where I'm at all times. One lady called me today. I've been by your tax office looking for my money, and you ain't there. It's like you didn't block my number. Miss, I'm not even thinking about you. I'm at work on another project. I ain't blocking nobody's number unless you done did something stupid. Okay, guys, we on the Doug Best Show, and I know that I'm on the airways. And today, I talked to this guy named Raymond. His wife's name is Veronica Robinson. They stay in Barstow, California. And he says, oh, gee, I watch you all the time. I said, I never seen you say nothing. He says, man, I don't say nothing, but I watch you all the time. We had a youngster on the yard today. His name is, I think his name is Devon. He's still over of Martin, Marks, and Shaw in that area. They got Fairmont, Alamos, and those apartments over. I think they call Park West or something. He says, man, I'll be watching you all the time, man. I went to the bank today. I'm in Clovis, Wells Fargo Bank. A guy came and tapped me on the shoulder. I said, hey, man, I'm thinking in my mind because something was wrong. And he says, hey, Doug, I'm your friend on Facebook. That's how powerful this thing is. That's how powerful this thing is. And then before I close, today, I gotta make an apology. At first, I wasn't gonna even say nothing about this, but today I gotta say it. Cause now I realize the responsibility of being able to get on this airway and talk to people and how many people I'm touching. Everywhere we go, we touching somebody. You remember about a few weeks ago, about a month ago, we went to Pismo Beach. A little kid came out of nowhere and says, I want to do the money dance. You remember that little girl? And I said, oh, wait a minute. And then she started doing the money dance, and I seen her mom, and I said, oh, my God. That's how powerful this thing is. And then so what I'm realizing, and this my promise to you guys, I ain't even worried about, how big the platform is going to get. I already know that, I'm charismatic. I got good sense. I know how to talk to people. I got a lot of patience and I got good people skills. But what I got to learn, and this is a weakness, today it showed up. And first, I got to apologize to two people. First, it's across the street, the ladies' shop over there. They raided the shop. And, I went over there with my camera and my son, so fresh to Naren, and already told me this before. Pops, when you start going too fast with the people with the camera, you make them feel some kind of inhibition inside. So I go across the street. Before I get there, I'm on my job site. I ain't going to be long, guys. Y'all stay with me. Y'all, I'm your friend, baby. I'm Dougie. I'm explaining to you. It's just like Barack Obama sitting here talking to you. The only difference is you see him on TV all the time. He's a good guy. I'm a good guy. It's just, I'm explaining something to you, and I'm making an apology. The lady across the street, they bust her shop. I don't know if it's a smoke shop. I don't know, whatever it is. I don't really care. The shop right in front of us a few weeks ago, I was saying, they got to go. And then my son was saying, Pops, everybody got to make a living, which is true. So it ain't my responsibility to be going and try to bash nobody about nothing. I don't know what they do. It ain't my business. As long as they don't come across the street over here, I'm not going to have no problems with nobody. But the lady today, so I'm on my job site. About 10 people call me and they say, hey, Doug, what's going on? from the different businesses out there. The guy across the street at the tire shop, the people next door at the property rental place, somebody next door in my barber shop, somebody else down the street. They call me, and I said, "Oh man, I ain't leaving because I'm paying these guys. They ain't gonna do nothing with it." So I left. I come here. I see the police. Y'all on the Doug Best show. I'm Doug Best. This is my show. This is my beautiful senorita, and I started. I just want to give a personal, public apology to that lady across the street named Irene. It's Irene Clothing Discount. I'm gonna tell you guys what happened, and I'm not proud of this. I don't have to get on here and say nothing. Okay, so we go across the street. A lot of people's filming the thing, but you guys, if you guys know me, you know my personality is exuberant. Even if I tried, if they put a gun to my head, it would be hard for me to act like a introvert. I just can't do it. My kids can't do it. I don't know if something in the DNA or whatever, but I go over there. I see everybody. I got my camera out. I take my sign out over there, and I asked the police officer. I told him, my name's Doug Best. I own the property across the street, and I got a podcast. Is it okay for me to film what's going on, and I'm not going to intrude? And the guy kind of just looked at me and kind of nodded. Okay, so I start filming, but I'm talking. And the lady was upset. They had some of them in handcuffs, and she was saying, he's probably the motherfucker. I'm just talking, guys. I'm explaining to you that called the police on us. I said, hey, I'm explaining to you guys, you know, just because I'm like work in progress. So the lady, you remember, somebody said the other day, I seen a podcast today, says, man, don't be talking about you from the streets and you from the mud and all that, but that's the truth. So there's a bunch of police over there, and the lady said, he's probably the motherfucker that called the police. I'm explaining it to you guys. It's just an explanation. Hey, man, I didn't handle that correctly because I said, and this is wrong, and I'm apologizing to her and all the ladies over there. Hey, bitch, get your motherfucking shit right. That's what I said. I shouldn't have said that. I'm explaining it to you guys. And should I tell them? I got to tell you. So, and then what happens, I became defensive and I became Doug, the street guy, which is a weakness. That's an immaturity. I got to make sure that every single time that I turn that camera on, I got to be as professional and as polished as I possibly can. And the lady kept talking, and then after a little while, I don't see the police. I see her attacking me verbally, and I didn't handle it correctly. And then Miss Irene, I've been here for years and years and years. I don't know that lady. I didn't call the police on you. I ain't gonna call the police on nobody, ever, at all, unless it's a situation where, you know, my grandkids or my senorita or something like that is involved, and that has to be the reason. But we didn't call the police. The people from the different businesses called me, and I went over there because, you know, they don't have the strength to go over there, but I went over there because they know I'm going to film it, and then they're going to see it on the Facebook. So I handled that wrong, and most of you guys out there didn't know nothing about it, but when I do something stupid, I'm going to correct it. And then what happened, and I'm finna close, it's a bunch of police over there. So what happened now, the ladies are like trying to check me. And then every other word is a bitch. And I shouldn't have did that, and it's wrong, and I know, but so I'm saying that. And they had a police officer. He had a mask on. And he said, sir, you know when you did something wrong, you know you didn't went too far, but it's too late now, and when I'm out there now, oh my God. So I cut the camera off to get my composure back. And the police officer, man, this is what I'm saying. Every time that the police is doing something, they ain't wrong. Today, this guy didn't chastise me. He said, sir, he said something to the effect, are you handling that correctly? But he didn't say it like that. He says, could you just calm down? Because the more upset that you get, the more upset she gets, and the more upset everybody else is going to get. And I knew this guy was like the police officer. All the police officers, they weren't trying to intimidate me or nothing. It was me being stupid. And I knew I was being stupid, and I felt so bad inside. So I'm apologizing to Irene. She'll never see this right here. I don't. If I seen the lady tomorrow, I would never know who she is. It was probably about 10 other women out there, you know. And once I started saying, "Bitch," I lost it, and I wasn't being respectful, and I know better. And one lady said, "You know, would you say that to your mom?" And then that's what brought me back to my senses. I said, "My mama's dead." And she says, "That's the whole point." Oh my God. She was so correct and so right. And so I'm apologizing to the lady Irene. I know she'll never see this. She'll never know that I said that. I wish your business would stay open. I seen the look in her eyes. It's like my life savings is in here, and they doing whatever they doing. And I'm apologizing to the Fresno Police Department. And somebody saying that nigga's over. Nigga, I ain't doing no ass kissing. I'm just saying when I'm out of pocket, I'm man enough to stand up to it. And the police officer, I'll never know who this guy is in life because he had a mask on, but he handled that thing so compassionately and so correctly. I felt bad. I came into Best Taxes and closed the door and went back there and cried because I didn't do right. Yeah, so here we are. I'm just apologizing for that. And who knows? I'll never see them people in life. I'll never see them police again in life. If I did see them, they not going to know me and I'm not going to know them. They did the correct thing with me. I don't know what happened with Miss Irene. I'm just apologizing to the mother ladies that was over there and what I learned today. So what I learned is today is when you get in front of these microphones, whether it's on the camera or whether you hear it at the Doug Best show and it's the cameras in front of us, our words mean something and they have power. And they have power. And then we never know. Donald Trump or the Honorable Mayor Jerry Dyer could be listening to me right now. We don't know who's listening, like the guy Raymond in Barstow. I never knew that he was listening to me. And some of the workers that was working with me over there on Jensen today, I didn't even know who they were because my cousin Henry brought a crew to work. But they listening to me. So I got my friend Gentry Green said this about a month or so ago. Somebody had owed me some money and I was flipping out, tripping. And he says, "Doug, do you think that mayor is going to come get on this show and you acting a fool? Why would they do that?" So I got to make it a positive point in my life that, you know, as we grow, I got to mature and I got to make 1,000% for sure. And I am. I'm telling you guys that I'm going to mature and I'm going to make sure when I'm in front of this camera, I'm not finna be doing that stuff that No Jumper and Whack and that other cat, Adam 22, be doing. I'm not doing that. They some brilliant guys. They doing what they do, but that's not going to be my lane. My lane here on the Doug Best Show, don't worry about it, you know, he just talked. I'm guaranteed that we're going to have millions of people. I'm not worried about it. I just don't want to go too fast. I just don't want to go too fast and get out there too fast and not be prepared. Because I know what happens. Once you get in front of the camera, media, even though it's the social media, it could destroy you as fast as it could build you up. And I know for a fact that the more highlight, the more glamour and more publicity that I get, the more scrutiny that I'm going to be up under. So next year, it's going to be more and more and more scrutiny. So they're going to be watching us even more in Best Taxes and on the Doug Best Show. So that's why, guys, all my self-employed guys, man, I love you, but you guys got to have everything correct. Because as the Doug Best Show grow and more people see me, the more scrutiny they're going to have me up under. And we got to all grow together. And, yeah, Senorita, did I cover everything? Am I being long-winded? Is anybody out there listening to me? I don't know. Okay, guys. I'm your friend. I'm Doug Best. We're here on the Doug Best Show, and I apologize to you, Miss Irene. I'll never see you in life. Maybe somebody might see this and share with her. And for the police officers today that had the restraint and the one that asked me, would I please calm down and be more professional? He didn't say it like that. But, man, I appreciate that, and that's a growing point for me. And for everybody out there, you know me. You see all them other cats on TV, Stephen A. Smith and the Drink Champ and 50 Cent and all them other people, Adam 22, Whack, Charleston White, all them different people. You see them. They just a character on the Facebook page. But this is real life. This is me in real life. And I'm promising you, on this show, I'm going to always keep it positive. And I know I got to walk that line where, you could be polished and real glib, or you could be real. So even when you're real and you want to make sure that you kind of delivering a point with some passion, I got to make sure that I choose my words correctly and inspire people and not break them down and not do nothing stupid, calling people the B word like I did today. That was wrong. I felt bad inside every time. I don't care. Whatever happened, if I do something stupid, I don't care how much it costs or whatever I got to do, I'm going to correct it. And that's why I got on here today. And guys, for you guys that got audited for the state, just get all your paperwork together, and then if you get stuck, don't worry about it. We'll run down here and help you fax something. But you got to get everything right, because I'm going to be working on the apartment complex over there. Because we literally going to be on a plane and traveling around the world. So everybody's thinking I'm just saying that. Y'all should know by now that everything that we talk about, it get materialized. I ain't getting on this thing and just talking. I'm getting on here talking, but I'm getting on here sharing. I seen Barack Obama say something last night. He could be listening to me. Who knows? Because the people way up there, they don't know what's going on down here until they listen to somebody like me that's right here. I'm going to say that one more time. How would President Trump know what's going on down here where we at unless he watching us down here? How would the Honorable Mayor Jerry Dyer know what's going on in this neighborhood unless he's watching somebody like me on the Facebook? How? It's not possible. But anyway, President Obama said last night, he says, man, when you go to all these big shot places and you be around all these big shots, these people, he used a different word, that's got these big titles, and you go into these big restaurants and these big homes, and then you go to thinking that they something better or something different than we are. It's not true. This is Obama. You guys can go and see it on the Facebook page. And what Obama said, and I agree, I've been talking about this for 100 years. Based on the fact that they got that position, they got some money, and they got these big houses and whatever. So in our mind, we think that they bigger and better than us. They're not, guys. And somebody said today, man, don't talk about being from the mud. You ain't got to make no excuses for you being from the outside or you growing up on welfare or nothing like that. Yeah, but what we got to do, we got to make sure. This is the Doug Best show. This is Doug Best talking to. If I was talking to the president of Elon Musk right now, man, they got the only way that they know how everything is affecting everybody down here, they got to listen to somebody like me that's right here in the mud, seeing the people every day. So what the bottom line is, guys, even though, we from wherever we at down here, you ain't got no reason to feel no inhibitions about you and you less or nothing like that. Just sometimes people might have had an opportunity to see a little more, been exposed to a little more than us. But when I travel around the world, me and my senorita, I don't care where we at. I'm pulling that camera out. I'm going to have that Doug Best sign right there. And then we're going to be talking about it. Then remember, I talked about exposure. So if I go to different countries all over the world and I'm start talking about different things, that mean people in the State Department and people in the highest positions in the world is going to be watching me. Just go with me in your mind. So what do that mean? That mean that, when I go around the country, who else is going to be going around the world and then they're going to be doing a podcast and people going to be seeing it. So what that mean? Then now I'm going to be up under greater scrutiny. So that's why I got to exhibit more discipline, more thoughtfulness, and try to be more effective in what I'm talking about and helping the people. So I've been here for a little while on the show. I'm Doug Best. I'm your friends, guys, from the few people that's going to have some checks tomorrow. I'm going to call you in the morning. I'm going to be on my job site. You guys come over there. It's clean. It's clean, and I'm going to get you the money. If you stuck with one of those audits, just call me. I'm going to try to walk you through it. Don't panic. Don't be talking crazy. Just relax. And I'm your friend, baby. I'm always saying that. And then, If Donald Trump was listening to me right now, and just you guys got to listen to us down here at the ground so you really know how whatever you're doing up there, President Trump, how it's affecting the people down here on the ground. How else would they know? How would he know? Because everybody's they're gonna be kissing his behind. They're not gonna tell him the truth unless they got somebody like me that's gonna tell the truth. How would the Honorable Mayor Jerry Dyer know what's going on out here in the hood, no matter how many informants or how many people he got? They're gonna lie to him unless you got a show like this. And I gotta make sure that I use the right language, use the king's language, and not be bombastic. I can't think say that word. Make sure that I don't be saying no profanity when I can find a nice word. In the Bible, they got something that said, a kind word soothes a wrath. That means, and sometimes in the street they say, you catch more bees with honey than something else. Okay, guys, I'm your friend. This is my senorita. We're going to be traveling around the world soon. I want you guys to tune in. I want you to subscribe to the Doug Best Show and share it. And then if you see me doing something correct, tell me. If you see me doing something incorrect, tell me. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. I'm positive that the show is going to be a success. Yeah, and I got to thank my man Casey, the teacher over at McLean. We had some issues tonight. He was his family members and too, Larry, and he stopped what he was doing, walked me through, how to copy a key inside the computer from Facebook to YouTube and make everything work. I'm your friend, baby. I'm Doug Best. This is the Doug Best Show. We're going to go all over the world. Don't worry about it. The movie stars, the rappers, the politicians, I'm going to get all of them. I got personality, and I got good sense, and I'm trying to do the right thing for everybody, us. I'll see you guys soon. Let's ride, baby. Booyah. You ready to go home? Okay, guys, I love you. And then we're going to call it a night. This Doug on the Doug Best Show. Thanks. We've been going 37 minutes and 8 seconds. Thank you. I love everybody.